Welcome guys to another GeoGuessr video. In this one I will tell you about some roads and road lines. As always, I will be talking about things that I personally use, so if I miss something or you know something that I don't, feel free to leave it in the comments below and help everyone out. So let's start with North America, specifically USA and Canada. Sometimes it's very difficult to tell them apart. Well, as you can see, roads look like this. White sidelines, yellow middle line. However, in America, these rumble strips are more common than in Canada. So, I mean, it's not a guarantee, but if you see these rumble strips, there is a higher chance that you are in USA. Chile is the easiest of South American countries to tell apart because all of the lines are white. All of the lines are white. The only other country that sometimes have all of the lines white is Argentina. I think I have mentioned this in one of my other tip videos. Yeah, again, if you see all of the lines white in South America, it's either Chile, mostly Chile, sometimes can be Argentina. Speaking of Argentina, in Argentina you will sometimes see these yellow solid lines with these dashed white lines in the middle. They don't have this combination in many countries, but in South America they are in Argentina and Uruguay. Outside of Americas, you will sometimes see this middle line combination in countries like New Zealand and Philippines. There might have been some more countries, so if there are, leave it in the comments below. So as I just mentioned, this also is Uruguay. However, if you see road lines that go like this, with two yellow solid lines and white dashed line in the middle, it means that it is Uruguay, because I don't think they use these in Argentina. Okay, now that we are done with Americas, we can move on to Europe. In Europe, there actually isn't too much I want to talk about. Ireland. I want to mention Ireland because one of the methods to distinguish Ireland and UK is sometimes by the road lines. So in Ireland, you will sometimes have these yellow dashed lines on the sides of the road. They can also sometimes be solid. But keep in mind, sometimes UK can have them when there is no parking allowed, for example. But they are way more often seen in Ireland. Let's move on to Nordic countries. One of the best ways to distinguish Nordic countries apart is also by the road lines. So let's begin with Norway, shall we? Besides mountains all around us, in Norway you will often see these yellow lines in the middle of the road, which sometimes can make it look similar to USA or Canada, but if you find it difficult to distinguish between them, you can look for either bollards or for European style trucks or some other indications. To tell Sweden apart, you need to look for these short dashes on the sides of the road, because in the Nordic countries only Sweden has them so short. Keep in mind that some other countries can have short dashes as well, for example Estonia. So yeah, keep that in mind. In Finland you also can have these yellow lines with white dashes in the middle. I knew I forgot something when I was talking about South America. So yeah, you can have the yellow line solid, you can have it dashed as well, but yeah, in Nordic countries only Finland has it this way. So let's move on to Israel and Jordan. In Israel and Jordan you will have these yellow lines on the sides of the road. Sometimes I think in Jordan I've seen yellow in the middle as well. So yeah, if you see yellow lines on the sides of the road and you are driving on the right sides, it's probably one of these two countries. But if you see yellow lines on the sides of the road and you are driving on the left side, you're probably somewhere in southern part of Africa. Because yeah, as you can see, we have these yellow lines on the sides, white in the middle. Let's make it larger so it's easier for you to see. And sometimes you can have these like triple lines in the middle as well. Sometimes these middle lines are also dashed. So and here are the center lines dashed and white. This is, for example, Lesotho. I think in Eswatini they also can have the same lines in the middle. I don't think I have seen them in Botswana though. I don't have too much to tell you about Asia because mostly they use white lines both on the outside and in the middle. However, if I do see yellow lines in the middle of the road, I usually think about Thailand. Because in Thailand they often do have yellow lines in the middle. However, some other countries also sometimes use yellow in the middle, so it's not a guarantee. It's just a good clue. Now we have Australia and New Zealand left. In Australia we will have white lines, mostly only white lines, both on the outside and in the middle. That's one of the ways to tell it apart from South Africa, because in South Africa, as I mentioned, you have yellow lines on the outside. In New Zealand they also often use only white lines, however sometimes they do have some yellow lines as well, and that is a good way to tell it apart from Australia. So that was all I wanted to cover in this video. Again, if I missed something, please leave it in the comments below, I will only appreciate it. If you found this video useful, please leave it a like and subscribe, and leave in the comments what other tips you would like to hear from me in the future. For more GeoGuessr content, follow me on Twitch and join our Discord in the description. I hope you have a great day, be kind to one another, and see you in the next video.